This video was supposed to be an Inktober sketchbook tutorial, and it was supposed to go up at the beginning of October, but I didn't have time to edit, and now it's irrelevant because October is almost over, but I didn't want to waste the footage, so this video has now become a catch-up on me and what I've been working on, while also learning how to make a wire-bound notebook. Hoorah! So hello, I'm Zaccura, and welcome back to my deserted channel. No. I kid. I have not by any means deserted this channel. I love YouTube so much. I wish I could upload more, but it also takes a lot of time, and it seems like all of my projects are coming together at the same time, and the time is now, and so I don't have a lot of time for YouTube. Why am I still talking all intense like this? So before I begin catching you guys up on what I've been working on and where I've been and stuff, let me just explain what you're seeing me do right here. So for Inktober 2019, I made myself a small 4.5 inch by 6 inch notebook. And the footage you see here is just me creating it. I used smooth Bristol paper for the inside, in case you guys are wondering, because that's currently my favorite paper to illustrate on. The coil that I used was actually recycled off of an old notebook thing, so you can actually recycle these things off of notebooks. And I made the covers out of chipboard that I have because I also used chipboard for one of the parts of making my 2020 monthly character calendars, which kind of segues into the chat section of this vid about where I've been, what I've been up to since I last posted here on YouTube. So my last video, which went up at the end of September, I think, was actually the announcement of my online shop opening and the launch of my monthly character calendar. Thank you so much, by the way, to those who have already purchased a calendar. Your support means so much. I heart you. And so that happened, and then at the same time, Inktober just started. And if you've been around my channel since last year, then you know that last year I made a whole storybook out of Inktober, and the year before that I made a wordless story out of Inktober. And while I really love turning my Inktober projects into some kind of story, this year I had planned on just going the traditional route of following the prompts and making a random drawing every day. That was until Inktober started. While it is a storied tradition of mine to make a story out of Inktober, it is also a tradition of mine to not know what that story will be until literally day 1 of October. I always seem to get inspired literally last minute, and that happened to me again this year, even though I didn't even plan on making a story. So for the first week and a half of going into Inktober, against my greater judgment, I got sucked into making a comic book slash manga, and gosh, I got so into where the story was going, and I just love the characters. It's a little more dark than last year. It's a little more shonen, I guess. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to do another story this year. But then as the days went on, I came to realize that it was taking up a lot of my time every day. Composing comic panels is hard. It's like an art in itself, and then there's the actual drawing time, and then the writing time, and making sure everything works together, and that it follows the story, and then there was the fact that I was drawing on this tiny AF notebook I made. Don't make comics on tiny paper. Just don't do it to yourself. So it was taking hours and hours every day, and I ended up not having time to work on my previous commitments, aka the monthly character book. I made a commitment last year that by the end of this year I would publish both the monthly character calendar and the monthly character book, aka Year, a collection of short stories, as I'm going to be naming it. And while the calendar is already up, the book is still not finished at all. The stories are written, but then if we take a timestamp right now of where I was at the beginning of October 2019, then I still had some final edits of some of the stories to do, and then also, I never mentioned this, but there are going to be sketch illustrations all throughout the book. They're going to be like sketches of the different scenes that happen in the stories, and they're going to be kind of like posted around the pages and stuff. It's going to be cool. But most of them were still not done at the beginning of October. Not to mention, there was still the task of actually formatting and publishing the book. That takes a lot of time. So with all of these factors in mind, my greater judgment finally came through for me, and I realized that if I wanted to meet my deadlines for my book, then I could not continue my Inktober comic. But because of how much I really loved where the comic story was heading, and it's like we hardly got into it, I decided I would continue the comic eventually. So I put it on hiatus until January 2020, at which point it will pick up where it left off. And maybe, just maybe, I'll use some bigger paper to illustrate on. So since then, for the past 2 weeks or so, I've been continuing Inktober actually. I've been posting every single day over on my socials with a new ink drawing, but just going the originally planned route of just doing random drawings every day and following the official prompt list, like a normal, level-headed human being. And then behind the scenes, I've been working my butt off to catch up slack on Heyyyy, a collection of short stories. I'm just gonna call it the book for like the rest of this video. You guys know what I mean by the book. After calculating, there's going to be nearly 70 individual sketches all throughout the book. And so if we fast forward to today, which is like, it's the 26th when I'm recording this voiceover right now. So far, I've done like 30 sketches within the last 2 weeks. By the time this video goes up, I'll probably be up to like 34 or something. I've had my hands full, that's for sure. And I mean, it's my own fault for procrastinating on the drawings for like the whole year. But at the same time, this year has been like really weird. And I had other things to work out before earlier in the year, so I don't really have regrets for waiting to do the sketches until now. And honestly, I mean, it should be known by now that I tend to work better under pressure. Like, it all sounds super tight and crazy when I talk about it now, like 70 illustrations, like that's to do in like a couple months is crazy, but I have actually been feeling really good these last few weeks, if you couldn't tell by this all over the place voiceover. But yeah, I've been really enjoying the work. I've been enjoying Inktober. I've been enjoying sketching every day. I've been enjoying the fall season. So it's like, it's weird, I don't know. Maybe it's just like my brain blocking out the horrifying reality. Like the house is burning meme. This is fine. But one thing that has been like keeping me sane, I guess, is I have like a schedule timeline thing, like the organized adult that I am. And that helps with the pressure because so long as I keep to that schedule and like I do everything that I need to do every day, then everything will be fine. And the house won't burn down. So yay! I'm really excited to get everything together. I can't wait to show you guys the finished book. Honestly, I can't wait to see how it will turn out myself. And if everything does go well, which, you know, crossing my fingers, then Heyyyy, a collection of short stories, should be dropping before Christmas. Yay! For now, thank you so much for watching and listening to my bumbling around. I normally script my videos and am more poised, but I don't have time for that, so you have raw bumbling Zaccy for today. I hope you enjoyed watching me make this Inktober notebook, and hopefully, maybe, you could have learned something from it. Maybe you guys can now make a notebook for yourself, I don't know. Maybe. If you want to see all of my Inktober works, then you can check out my Instagram feed or Twitter feeds or Newgrounds, or I mean just anywhere other than YouTube. But I do hope to have an Inktober walkthrough video coming out like next week where I'll show all of the drawings here on YouTube. But again, I do not know if I will have the time because editing videos takes forever. So we will see. We will see. Until then, I hope you guys have a happy Halloween. Huge kudos to anyone who has been participating in Inktober. It's a hard challenge, and I hope you are having a beautiful, lovely day. If it's cold where you are, like it is where I am, then go grab a cup of your favorite warm drink. Coffee, tea, latte, hot chocolate, whatever. And be cozy and warm and happy because you deserve it. And if you're on the other side of the world where it's currently like spring and it's warm and stuff, then go outside and wear a sun hat. Don't forget to protect your skin. Until next time, stay awesome, stay inspired, always. See ya!